Morning, folks. It's Monday again. Yabba dabba doo. Hope you had a good weekend. Anyway, today we're on this alcove. So I'll turn you around. So, folks, here she goes. Here's the alcove. I have a shelf to go in the bottom, and then 4 solid oak shelves to go in. So whatever distance up, and I have facings to go up the sides and around the top. So that's going to be funky. So what I've done down the bottom here is I've framed up for the bottom shelf. The shelf is going to sit on top of the skirting here and here, and I have a piece of skirting to go in the front. So it's going to sit like that the whole way across. Obviously that's not the right bit. So that's going to sit in there 2 inches back from the front of the main skirting. So it's going to be a nice wee detail. I've already framed it up, so I've got this fixed to the floor. I've got this fixed all the way around the back, so it's nice and solid. So now I am going to cut the shelf. So I'll get set up for that. Okay, so here's my bottom shelf cut. I've cut the notches out. Now I've got a funny feeling I'm going to have to scribe it into the wall. And if I do, then I'll show you how to do that. It's real simple. Right, we'll try her in and see if she's going to fit. You want it tight, but obviously not as tight that it won't go in. So that's perfect. Now we'll just get a wee kick in. Right, I'll just show you this. Right, as you can see, there's quite a gap along here. There's a thing there, but I can cut all that out. Along the side is good. Along the back, we've got another gap. Along the side is good. And this side, we have another gap. So I'll show you how to do that. Okay, so what I've done here is I've set the 2 extreme points of my sill, the width of my rule. That's that side, and that is that side. It's just a wee bit tight stuff. Right, that's her in there. That's nice and tight. So now all I do is take my rule and run it along the back. Both sides. Just get a line on. That's going to be good. Right, so I'm only going to have to plane this ever so slightly. The back isn't too. This is the worst bit here. And then along the front, you just do the exact same again. Now, I know when I cut this, there's my line there. I know when I cut this sill now, that it is going to when I cut that, I push the whole thing back the width of my ruler, and that's going to fit perfect. So I'll cut that and show you the results. Now that's no bad. I actually just gave it a hit with a hammer and a block of wood, so that's come up pretty good. I'm quite happy with that. So that's it, fitting perfectly. Now on the underside you can see that I have the wood there for my skirting that I'm going to fit. I'll do that later. I'll start the facings. Here I have my facing, and after drawing several hundred marks on the wall, I have figured out that this angle at the top here is 27 degrees. When this one comes in, it should be the same at this corner. These will be different. But this corner and this corner are 27 degrees. Now what I'm going to do is I need to run a channel 20mm back, and we're going to put a groove in here for LED strip lights all the way down. And then we'll get these facings, the top facings, the lights will be in a continuous run all the way around. So I'll show you how I'm going to do that with my router, if I can find it. Cool. Back, this is a groove we're going to run the LED lights in, and I only want it maybe 3mm deep. It doesn't have to be that deep. 3-4mm, that's all you need. Now I've set this guide to 20mm to the far off side of my blade, which corresponds to here to 20mm to the inside of my cut. This is going to be up against the internal wall of the alcove, so that's a good guide. So I'll set it to depth. I've set it to width, now I just need to set it to depth, so I'll do that. Okay, that's our set to 3-4mm. Now I'll just run the guide of the router is going to run along this edge, so that means I need to pull the router towards me along the whole distance of the board. If I push it, I'm going to end up with a really squiggly line because the blades are going to want to push itself out of the wood. But the way the blade's turning, if it's cutting in this way, it's going to grip the wood and keep the guide into the wood. So we'll give it a bash. Right, set it up, let's go. It will be loud. You might have noticed I've got some funky looking hand plasters. Had a fight with a grinder earlier on, so that was fun. I've also got another little sort of cut. I blame the wife. I always blame somebody but yourself. So that board is now ready for fitting. I'll find some nails and bang it on. So just in case you were wondering what the groove's for, here's where LED lights that are going to get stuck on and be on the inside of the bookcase. So yeah, I can't wait to see this. So this is one side on. I've just got a few nails on it just now, but if we go in the back here, you can see that here's the groove for the lights. So the lights are going to be shining into the back of the wall there. Yeah, that's going to look pretty cool. So the top I'm going to do in 4 pieces. It'll be quite short, but it's going to be the best way I can do it, I think. I could do it in 3, but some of the wood's not that great, so I'll do it in 4 bits and get the good bits. So, right, this angle here is 27, so the first piece I'll cut with a 27 degree angle on it. So I've cut my wood at 27 degrees to match. Now I'll just put it there. The angle's going to be pretty good. Now what I'll do is just trace the line of the arch onto the back, and then I'll cut that out with a jigsaw. Okay, here's my arched piece of wood. It's slightly thingied here, but that's okay, I can work with that. Okay, now what I did was, after I traced the bark, I added on my 20mm because that's the overhang I need for the lights in the bark. So I'll go and cut that now and see how that turns. Now, it works best under compression, so I'm going to put a nail in here. But what I'm going to do as well is open the gap. So, hopefully, and another tip, blunting your nail before you put it in. Right, so and then when you that, once I nail that, is proper under compression, and you get a perfect joint. Okay, so that's that joint fitted. Just a wee pencil line here, but once that's set, I'll go around it the morn and just give it a quick sand. But that's the start. So I now have my angle for here. So all is a case I mark that, cut the next one, and then same again, till we get to here. Okay, so I'll do the rest of the top, and if there's anything I can show you, I will. Okay, that's the facings all done. Now all I have to do is a bit of skirting at the bottom and fit. I have these shelving bracket sort of things, so I need to cut them to length, screw them on and cut the shelves. So these shelf brackets are just going to go on 2 inches from 50mm in between the facing and the edge. That's my finger I cut earlier. It's a beauty. So I've got 4 of them to screw on, so I'll just throw them on. There's hundreds of screws to go in, so this will take a wee while. Okay, that's the shelf brackets on each side. Now all I need to do is, well, obviously do the shelves, but also need to fit a plug in here. And right at the end I'll do the reveal with the lights on. Even if it's just temporary lights, they'll, yeah, I hope you'll be impressed, because we've already done it and it looks pretty sweet. Right, back in a bit. Look at these beauties. 300mm by 3cm wide and deep. That's for shelves. One solid lump of wood. So we'll cut them to size, stick them in. Okay folks, that's the 4 shelves in. All I have to do now is just sand it and varnish it. The shelves are in. Right, I'm in 2 minds whether to plane them flat and get them smooth, or just leave them as they are and just give it a quick varnish. They're not exactly flat and there's humps and bumps all over them. There's saw marks everywhere. But I quite like it. I think I might just leave it. Let us know in the comments what would you do? Plane them flat and smooth them, or just leave them as they are and varnish them? Right, I'll be back in a little bit and I'll show you that with the fancy lights on. Okay folks, here she is. That's her done. Then skirting, facings, fit the shelves. Yeah, that is looking pretty damn good. It just needs one final sand tomorrow and I'll get it varnished as well. Let us know in the comments what you would do with these shelves. I'm tempted just to leave them because they're going to be full of books and stuff, or will I plane them flat and smooth, or just give them a rough sand? Let us know. Yeah, it's looking pretty good. But here's the final piece of the jigsaw. She lights up. Ah, that's sweet. Right, if you like that video, give us a thumbs up. If you get anything out of it, even better. If you could subscribe, it would be awful fine. There's a hell of a lot more stuff to come on this channel over the next months and years probably. So if I haven't bored you, stick around and you'll learn more. Hopefully. Maybe. Okay, have a good day. Thanks. Bye bye.